Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over a story titled, Cheated On After a 4-Year Relationship. And a big shout out to Martha for sending me this story. And guys, this story is all about a guy who learns the hard way why you should never be a white knight to the damaged girl. This guy does learn the hard way, however, he does get his crap together at the end and kick her to the curb, and it's quite a drama fest from her. However, he has to go through a lot of BS to finally wake up to reality. Now, real quick before I get into this, because I use these stories both as entertainment and as a way to teach guys, what do I mean by white knight and damaged girl? White knight, for all you guys that are new, is the guy that has in his head that he is going to save the girl, the damaged girl, from previous bad relationships and be the nicest guy in the world to her, treat her with love and respect and kindness, shower her with affection, all these things, and he can be the one to fix her because she has a damaged past. And the damaged girl is the gal who has a history of dating guys that she will label as being abusive and all sorts of other nasty things, when there are certainly times when that's not true at all. She just uses it as an excuse to blame him for the failure of the relationship. Or there are times when it is accurate, and she's a gal that goes for a guy that treats her like complete garbage, mentally, physically, emotionally, all that. The classic bad boy type, but to a whole new level. And these guys come along that can save them, because they cry a river to these guys that listen to all their problems and all that. And the problem is with this is that gals like this tend to be attracted to guys like this and the drama those guys provide, whether they want to admit it or not. And some gals that are usually younger don't quite realize that they're actually attracted to guys like this. So when a guy comes in to try to save them from themselves, from the past, from those guys, by them being loving and caring and treating them like a human being, those girls eventually lose respect for them because in their mind, I'm a piece of garbage. I'm used to being treated like crap. Therefore, if this guy's treating me like a human being, I don't respect this guy, and these girls will treat them like crap, cheat on them, hurt them, and these guys walk away with their hearts broken. So guys should never do that. Girl tells you that she was in a previous relationship or relationships that it was abusive and all that, walk away. Because either, like I said, she's making it up just to label her ex as the villain and why the relationship failed, and that will be you one day when things don't work out. Or B, she has a history of those types of guys and is obviously bad choices in who she's attracted to, and of course will follow the path of getting back with those guys eventually and break your heart. And this is just the same story and over again. Do not be the guy to try to save them. You're wasting your time. Now that's a long intro, but I had to get this across very much before I got to the story. So it starts off, says here, I will start with some context. My girlfriend, a 24-year-old female, and I, 24-year-old male, have been together for more than 4 years at this point. Okay, so they got together when they were 20. When we got together, she was still recovering from a very abusive relationship, mentally and physically, that she had a year prior. And I helped her recover from that. Smack! There you go. White Knight, Captain Save It, you know what. Is it true? Was the past boyfriend that way? Either he was, and she's attracted to guys like that and stuck around with a guy like that, because obviously she's attracted to that, or she's just labeling that way. And now that he's treating her wonderful, like a human being, how long does it take to see for this girl to miss the drama, miss the excitement, and seek it elsewhere? She became extremely attached to me and I to her, and the thought of her cheating to me seemed impossible. Famous last words. Throughout our relationship, we have talked a bunch of times about cheating in relationships, and we both agreed that it cannot solve any problems, and communication should be the solution always. Well, let's remember that part. She agreed that cheating doesn't solve any problems, and communication is obviously extremely important to solve issues. And I believed that from her, as she didn't show any interest in other boys anytime while I was with her. In the last year, she's become somewhat more distant and started doing things that I didn't know she was into. Perhaps she didn't either. What I always say about pay attention to not only people's actions, but women's actions. They tell you everything. Mainly, she started to go to clubs with her best friend saying she wants to dance. You're in a serious relationship with your girl after 4 years. She shouldn't want to go to clubs and do all this stuff where things that obviously aren't so good go on. because she's with you. And frankly, the guy shouldn't have it. But here we go. I told her, and she knew that kind of fun just isn't my thing, and I didn't want to go there just to be her bodyguard. Well, she obviously knew this. At first, I didn't think too much of it, as I believed she or her friend would handle any situation that might appear with guys flirting with her. Are you kidding me? They welcomed it. Women love attention. Let's be honest here. Yeah, they say they're going out to the club so they can dance and all that. Well, they could probably dance to some video game system at home. No. They want to dress up, have the short skirts. The short skirts, they're so short, their buttholes are pretty much hanging out. Have guys checking them out and everything. They enjoy it. But after a couple of weeks, while we were looking at something on her phone, she received a message from someone named Chris, I think. The I think part seemed off to me, and I asked her about it. Apparently some random guy told her she looked nice and asked for her phone number, and she gave it to him. Ah, imagine that. I thought she was just there to dance, not meet other people. And the fact that she gave her phone number away, what does that say? And remember, this is the same gal who you said is lately she's become distant. Pay attention to behavior. Her excuse was that she was, wait for it guys, drunk. Oh. Well, that excuses everything. No problem then, honey. Let's go back to doing what you were doing. You were drunk. Bullshit. I gave you leeway. You went to the club, and you're giving guys your phone number. How many other guys out there have the phone number? Is he texting you because something else went on and you just giving him the phone number? Were you making out with him? Were you hooking up in the alley behind the club, in the bathroom? These are important questions to ask. That is when I started to become suspicious regarding her. I confronted her about this, as I thought she would just went there to dance with her friends. He says, foolish I know, but that was how I trusted her back then. The result was a huge fight, in which she snapped that I was too jealous and controlling about this. So he has proof that she was stepping out, and they're fighting about it, and she's twisting it around that he's the villain. You're being controlling, you're being jealous. Bullshit. If the situation was reversed and he was out with his bros and she was being trusting and she saw his phone, he got messages from random girls, you don't think that she'd be a little bit annoyed about that? And if he said, oh, I was drunk, right? But if he questions her, he's the bad guy. It's bullshit. We're done. Goodbye. The trust is gone. My argument was that she has no violation when she gets drunk. And neither she or her friend would do anything if a couple of guys would get them drunk or drug them or take them or whatever. We somewhat recovered from that fight in the months that followed. No, you didn't. But I still feel some resentment from her regarding that. Trust your feelings. Listen to your gut. She also starts saying that I'm judging her whenever she would tell me something more sensitive. If she's telling you something that demonstrates that you have reason not to trust her, then you have reason to judge, as she would if the situation was reversed. Around this time, I also started looking in secret at her messages. She continued talking with that guy, but it wasn't anything to worry about. Mostly idle talk coming from him every couple of weeks or so. Smack! Nothing to worry about. She is secretly talking to some dude that you don't know, any dude for that matter, but the guy that she met out when she was drunk. The hell's the matter with you? You should have broken up with her before. Now you got plenty of reason to break up with her. White Knight, Captain Savior, you know what? This is the same girl that she had the damaged relationship, the abusive relationship, and now she was with a guy that treats her well, and you can tell through the guy tells the story. She's bored. She needs drama. And I guarantee these types of guys that she's getting the phone numbers from and talking to, and soon to be, as you're going to see more going on, they're the types probably just like her exes that brought her drama and turmoil. This is why you don't Captain Save. You know what? Because it's going to bring suffering to your life. Fast forward a few days ago. It was a long time since I looked through messages. Oh, I read that part. Oh, no, I did not read that part. I thought the relationship was going pretty good. I was investing time and effort into this continuously. She still seemed kind of distant, but in her words, she was just stressed and tired from university classes and work. Back to the distance thing. This all started when she started being distant. It means her mind and her heart and emotions are elsewhere, not at you. I believe that, as I'm also stressed and tired from all that, but I guess everyone has different thresholds. I, however, thought one night, while she was sleeping, to look through her messages again to see what is up. One of the latest chats was that Chris, I think, guy from the previous night, when I thought she went to bed early. She's still talking to the guy, and you haven't confronted her, and you haven't kicked her to the curb. At 3 a.m., she was sending him pictures of her in the club saying she was drunk. I was furious, but I didn't tell her anything at the moment. Smack! Here's the problem here. This guy is obviously a passive, more of the beta type, because guys that have respect for themselves, they stand up for themselves. They'll be confrontational when necessary. He should have confronted her, but he's not. He's letting it slide, and just more bullshit going on. I was furious, blah, 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 and I started looking for other chats. And there it was. Some random guy, again, with a strange name, and I can't remember it. Their conversation seemed a bit more on the intimate side. No sexting or anything, but not that far. So she's talking to more than one guy. Again, this is Miss I want to go to the club to just dance. And Miss cheating is bad and communication is so important. So I went to the beginning of the conversation with him. 3 months ago, he got her number after meeting her on the street. Well, that's an appropriate place for her, and that's where she belongs. A few days after that, she told him out of the blue not to tell anyone about what they are doing in the bed. Suffice to say that was the moment I snapped. I woke her up and asked her if she would tell me if she cheated. She said yes, of course. A few moments of silence, and she asked where her phone was. I handed it to her, and she stormed off the room on her own. So she's going to storm off, pissed off, and make this guy to be the bad guy. How dare you look at my phone? How dare you this, and this with all these dudes? Now watch how she makes it this guy's fault. Since then, she has told me what happened. She got extremely drunk that night. Here we go again with the drinking. With her friend at her place. She was sad at the period about our relationship that she believes she cannot talk to me and that I don't give her enough time. This guy is the white knight nice guy. White knight nice guys give nothing but their time to the girl. He says, although I've always given her time every time I could, if she had told me it was this bad for her, I would have given her even more time. So she went off on a walk alone that night and texted that guy. She then went to his place, kissed him, embraced him, and slept in his arms, or at least that's what she told me. So are we supposed to believe that this girl left, and it's this guy's fault, of course, texted the guy, they kissed, and she slept in his bed all night in his arms, hugging or holding each other, and nothing else happened? But here's the deal. Even if she was doing every freaky thing known to man that you would see on PORN Hub, it doesn't matter. She was still lying, cheating, off with this dude, sleeping with this dude in another bed, kissing him, etc., etc. It's over. You cannot trust her. This is why you don't be the Captain Save It. You know what? Because they will always remain the 304s. She is desperately trying to get back with me, saying she loves me and it will never happen again. Well, she certainly has a funny way of showing her love and affection for this dude. And bullshit, it won't ever happen again. Wants to cheat, always a cheater. That she will try to get therapy and work on our relationship, fixing all that is broken. Honey, you can get all the therapy you want and you can fix it all you want, but guess what? I'm not going to be there anymore. I'm very close to believing her. Smack. Dude. But my heart is still broken. I do not know if I could continue a relationship with her, especially knowing that we were ramping up for living together, marriage and the stuff, while she was hiding this from me. Dude, consider yourself lucky, like a blessing that your dodged a big one. Thank God he isn't living with her. What should I do? Is what she said that bad that it warrants no second chances? It does not warrant you've been giving her second and third chances, man. Should I walk on my ego and accept her back? Dude, if you take her back, she's going to walk all over your heart. Now, I'm going to read some comments before I give you the very, very quick update that he did and what he did. One guy says here, you are 24. You move on. She has shown you who she is. She has lied to you. Also, she asked the other person to lie. What she is doing is out of the cheater's handbook, or as I call the hoe bag handbook. Tell as little as possible. Did she do what she said? Sure, but she left out that she was naked, had sex in the bed, and showered him in the morning. When you find out a little more, she will add to the story. It is called trickle truth. You need to end it and move on. Pick up a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. It will help you establish boundaries. It will help you with all the relationships, work, family, romantic, and where to draw the line and how not to let red flags go. Or he can watch my channel and he'll save himself real quick. Another guy says here, being so young, use this as a life lesson and move on to a healthier relationship. If my wife at 20 plus years acts this way, we'd be heading for divorce. Get some self-respect for yourself. Hey, freaking men. And one more before you find out what he does. He says here, another guy says, don't forget what she did only shows you what kind of love and respect she has for you. When you love someone, you don't do that to him or her, period. She was cheated on, and to thank you for your help and precious time, call it whatever you want, she cheated on you. Seems like she and her ex deserve each other in the end. See? You can't save these types because they're used to all the drama and turmoil, and they're eventually going to bring you drama and turmoil and seek out guys that will give them the type of drama and turmoil they crave, and then complain that those guys give them drama and turmoil. You can't win. What could have made a strong relationship? If not, what did you do to her? You were there for her. And her, she went clubbing like a single teenager. In most cases, cheaters tend to minimize their actions. This happens most times than you know. What happens in the club stays in the club, but let's not speculate. She even asked him not to tell anyone about their night and continued talking with him. Oh, come on, you're not that desperate. You know you didn't deserve this, and you know what to do. Don't wait for another backstab. Don't forget the obvious. Get tested, whether she says it was protected SEX. Good luck. Yeah, for God's sakes, he needs to get himself tested. And he says to this whole situation, I want to thank you all for your advice and support. I have decided to cut off any relationship with her. Hallelujah. Good job, bro. As I wouldn't want to live with fear and this trauma alongside with her. I just hope that it gets easier from here. Bro, it will be hard for a while. You've been with her for 4 years, but you take it one day at a time and you cut off all contact with her, because I guarantee you're going to get the waterworks, and she's going to be trying every sneaky trick to get back in your life and show them at your door and promising you everything. And in time, the same bullshit will happen again. She's not going to change. This is why you don't waste your time being the white knight saving these damaged girls. He also says, she's still trying to make amends, but I just stopped talking to her. She's appearing to keep up the charade. There you go. And you know what? She'll keep reaching out to him and reaching out to him. And hell, she could probably reach out to him in 15 years, because they always come back. He needs to move on with his life. Hang out with his bros, hang out with his family, people he can trust, focus on his goals in life, whatever that may be, establishing himself in this world, because it sounds like he's still in school. And next time around, do not go for the damaged girls that say they were in bad abusive relationships or this. You get the point. So guys, lots to learn from this guy's story. I know the majority of you know this already, but I got new people all the time coming here, and you can't be the one to save these gals. There's no saving them. You're wasting your time, and you're only going to get hurt. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Guys, in the comment section, if you in the past, and be honest here, ever were just like this guy where you thought you could be the one to save the damaged girl from her bad previous relationships and all that, let me hear in the comment section how that worked out. Did she cheat on you? Did she bring a lot of drama to your life? Did she go back to her ex who you were saving her from? Any number of things. Write down in the comment section. Let guys know, because guys are going to read this, and this might save a guy from making the mistake that this guy made, because he wasted 4 years of his life with this a-hole. Look at the thanks he gets. All right, guys, that's it for today. I said that part. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.